Yo, what is going on, guys? I hope you're all super well. I'm still very tired from the match yesterday with the reserve team. I played about half an hour, as I said, but it's really taken it out of me, so I've just had a rest day today, but we're having a special dinner tonight. Now, at this special dinner, it's actually my birthday dinner, but a day late because I was playing last night, and we have Ed and his wife, but we also have Frank and his wife coming along. Frank played a big part in me coming over to the UK and sorting everything out, so we're going to hear from Frank about what actually happened, because so many of you guys messaged me on how did you actually get to the UK? How did you get to play for a team? How can I do this? How can I do that? And I want to share with you a little bit on what helped me to get a team in the UK, because this advice can be used for anywhere in the world. Wherever you know someone, it can work. So I'm looking forward to this dinner. It has been another beautiful day in Plymouth. How amazing. Yep. Okay, I'll be down. They've just arrived, so we'll chat. I'm gonna have some dinner and then we might chat after dinner, and I'll let you guys know. Everyone's wearing all this fancy stuff. Not fancy, but I'm rocking some track pants with a grey top, so I'm going to quickly change into some jeans. Okay. That looks a bit more respectable. Close call on that one. Heading back down. This is Frank. I know Frank through my dad, and how did that actually come about?
I suppose it was around 6 years ago.
Yeah.
I met your dad over through LinkedIn, and we were both doing a similar job of in agribusiness investment. Your dad was in Australia doing that, and I was doing this, although I'm based in the UK, I was doing it in South America.
Right, yeah.
And there's a lot of synergy between agribusiness in South America, and particularly Brazil, and in Australia. Right. So we talked together about mutually approaching investors.
Yep.
And then for 2-3 years we had a partnership with a number of opportunities in Australia.
Right.
So that's how I got to know your dad.
Right, so I didn't know, I knew a little bit about it, I didn't know too much. I know they met somehow over agriculture investment, something or other like that. But yeah, so you're not even into football at all, really?
No, I follow football. I know,
yeah.
I know some UK teams, and you see it in the news, and I watch clips of football, and I'm interested to see good highlights. But and years ago, I used to follow Plymouth Argyle. Like maybe 40 years ago. Right. I can remember when a Brazil team came and played.
Here we go. This is a good story.
Argyle. I remember it was a packed house at Argyle. I think maybe the maximum crowd was like 18,000, but it was packed to the gunnels. And what I do remember, Pele was playing, and I do remember one of the one of the Brazilian teams scoring a goal by kicking the ball from the halfway line and scoring a goal from there. So that was the memories of Argyle and Brazil. Right.
So Frank's not too much into football, but how it all came about is that I needed to apply for my 5-year visa here. And on that visa, you had to put somewhere where to live. And Dad and I are sitting there thinking, where do I put this place? And so we were thinking of putting a hotel. Nothing was set in stone of where I would stay. And for some reason in my head, I thought, Frank, what about Frank? And so we got onto Skype with Frank, and Dad told you the story, and then you got onto Edmund, is that right?
Yeah. I knew that you were keen on football because your dad had said 4 or 5 years ago that, I couldn't remember which son it was, but one of his sons was going to be a professional footballer when he got out of school. Yeah. And when you contacted me, I thought, who do I know? Well, the two people I knew that were connected with Argyle, one is the chairman, because the chairman of Argyle, Plymouth Argyle, is James Brent, but the other person was a passionate supporter who I knew through fox hunting locally, and he's a passionate supporter of fox hunting, and he's a big walker. He's very athletic, and this guy Edmund is 77 years old. He's extremely fit.
Amazing.
And I thought, aha, he's the sort of person who would know all the contacts in Plymouth Argyle. So I thought, well, I'll introduce Sheldon to Edmund. So that's how we came to think through the introduction.
Yeah, so that's where I am now. Now we're going to have a chat with Ed and see how all the other opportunities came about. So Frank just left. I can't get Ed out of his Plymouth Argyle top with... Is it Sifchi? Sifchi?
I think it's Chichi.
Chichi, there we go. Yeah. So now we're going to talk to Ed a little bit about how did you exactly meet Frank? Very briefly.
Met him a long time ago through both of us being involved with Spooners and West Dartmoor Foxhounds.
Right. So that's how you know each other. So there we have the link from my dad to Frank, and then Frank to Ed.
Yeah.
And then Frank was saying how he introduced myself to you because you're a mad football supporter, as you can see. But the opportunity with Plymouth Parkway to play obviously came about from you. Can you go a bit into depth about that and how?
Well, once Frank had said what you were trying to do, and I felt that it would be a good idea to try and help you.
Yeah.
Then I got your CV, and I thought, well, this chap sounds pretty useful, I'll see what I can do. So from that moment on, I was like looking for opportunities, and trying to speak to people that I knew that were in football, although I'm not in the industry myself.
Yeah.
And pass copies of the CV to them initially, and have particularly having a word first, because I know that the personal touch is always superior to just sending bits of paper.
Yeah.
And I was lucky enough to meet with quite a few people, bring up Sheldon's name.
Yep.
I passed the CV to Derek Adams after friendly against Western-super-Mare, which I was at, and gave him the sheet.
And Derek Adams is the Plymouth Argyle manager.
Derek Adams is a Plymouth Argyle manager. I had email conversations with Greg Strong, who is the chief scout. The upshot of that is at the moment they've got plenty of players, and they would only look at people with league experience anyway. So that door was shut, as it were. I then went along to watch Plymouth Parkway, because I knew some of my friends were involved with that. One in particular from my Argyle Fans Trust days was the sort of chief executive or right-hand man of the chairman, Mark Russell, whom I know, who's now built a fairly big business and is funding Parkway's rise up the leagues.
Yeah, of course.
And I met Damon and spoke to him about Sheldon, and he said, Sheldon, come along. It was just like that.
Right.
And so the mechanics of it happened afterwards. But basically it was Damon being receptive to the idea of me bringing Sheldon to the club.
Right. So none of that would have come about if you weren't going and asking these people, and it could have been me as well, but like you said, having that personal touch with somebody and not just going, here's my CV, do something with it. You had that personal touch with them, and then, or that conversation, and then tried to present the idea of something else.
Yes, in the initial opening, it was definitely that brief conversation between me and Damon.
Yeah, and obviously you know each other, so you ask how he's going, all that sort of stuff. So knowing the person helped a lot, really. So that's how those opportunities came about, and it's just amazing how the world goes, really.
Yes.
There you go. It's a tough
environment to get into.
Yeah, it's a tough environment to get into, having to not trial for these teams, but managing to get that trial. That's the hard part. So.
Because of course teams are looking at young players coming through, and they're looking at trialists in July for the following season.
And so
rather than that's a little bit of the problem.
But maybe what might happen, actually, now that I think about it, is come January or December, once they start to get injuries with players players leaving, players going on loan, all of those sort of things. They'll be looking for players.
A lot of movement.
Yeah, right now it's what, 4 games in, 5 games in. We just have the telly up here and it says 5 games. So 5 games in, there's not going to be many injuries. Come maybe the 20th game, 15th game, you're going to look at players with hamstring injuries and they need a replacement player, an injury player, all that sort of stuff.
And of course, teams in the conference and League Two, for example, tend to have smaller squads. They can't afford the bigger squads, so injuries can start to play a part later in the season.
So then they'll be looking for another player. So maybe that's something I'm going to look at. Anyway, I'm going to head upstairs now, have a shower, get ready for bed, get an early night's sleep. Thank you, Ed, for taking us through that. Ed's a legend. I just got upstairs and I really can't believe the stuff that Ed has done for me. Just listening to what he's said, he's gone out of his way to do so much to try and get me these opportunities, which is just amazing for me. It's, wow, I'm forever grateful to Ed. He's an amazing bloke. But that's just how the world works. Sometimes you bump into these people who will help you for no reason just because of who you are and help you pursue your goals. So that's going to conclude today's video. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure you leave a like. Ed is loving the vlog, so make sure you subscribe and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.